Hey all, I'm recording this after just getting the news that a new piece of mine for Sideshow Collectibles is going to be releasing soon. They showed the image today, so I'm finally able to share not just the image, but some of the process that went into making it. We've been talking, the art directors at Sideshow and I had been talking recently um, about doing a couple of different projects, and some of the early discussions never quite came together, and ultimately they asked if I wanted to do a John Constantine piece, and I was absolutely up for that. I've actually never painted a DC character, I believe this is the first time I've ever painted a DC character, and definitely as far as DC characters go, I feel like this one is right up my alley. So we discussed concept, and they really kind of wanted something that was that kind of very classic, like Constantine in a cemetery. Um, they referenced there's I think a couple of different versions of this image of him sitting by a grave with his own name on it, and hands like reaching and like grabbing at his clothes, or just kind of like reaching up out of the ground. And so I worked up one version of the concept that was very much following that direction. And then another one that was just kind of like an alternate idea where he's more like standing by the side of the grave, and there's like, his magic book and demons and all kind of stuff going on. But ultimately they chose to go with the first option. When I work up my sketches, I do a lot of prep at this point. I did shoot some reference in addition to uh, creating some 3D reference, going through my photo archive. I believe a lot of the images for the cemetery and tombstones were from photos I shot at Mount Moriah in Philadelphia, which is a really cool old cemetery. And and just other general kind of like pieces and elements that I kind of montage together as I'm working out my composition. I've shown this in some other videos. I did not document the process here, so I can't really like show it come together other than just describe that this is typically what I do. And then painted up my sketches from there, which, as I said, they picked the seated pose. So to get into the painting, I decided to do it 18 by 24 inches, which is yay big. And this is how the piece turned out. Um, very happy with it. I think that I think it's going to make a really cool print. I also was still relatively new to my studio space when I painted this. I had just kind of finished getting this space together towards the end of this past summer, and I got started working on this in the fall. And so you'll see in the videos, as the time lapse that I captured for this, that I'm kind of having a lot of um, I'm learning the space a little bit, and there's a lot of issues with angles and light reflections. I didn't have proper shades for my windows, so depending on the time of the day, sometimes I had like really strong sunlight coming in and causing glare on the painting surface, which kind of limited me to um, some of the footage just did not come out. I did manage to string together most of the painting process, though. I'm missing the earliest stages of putting together the underpainting, but everything from the underpainting to the finish is basically here. So that's what you're gonna see.
So what you've seen so far, I think this was painted over the course of 4 different sessions. Everything that was in this video, from the underpainting to the um, initial finish before getting revision notes, I think was 4 sessions. And then I turned this in and the art directors gave me some feedback. I thought that I recorded the reworking of this, but I did lose some files at one point due to a corrupted memory card. I thought I'd recovered everything, but I can't find the initial reworking of the portrait. And then I think that it was they had me rework the portrait, and they also had me get into some of the background. I think it was a little bit cool. And I gave it more kind of like a yellowy green kind of color. And I've actually got the painting right here. And a little bit more detail in the these guys in the background, just kind of worked them a little further. But the main note that I got was that Constantine's portrait was a little bit, they felt it wasn't quite the likeness that they were going for. I understood the character to be inspired by Sting, and so I was riffing off of that, but I might not have gone in quite the right direction with it. And so they asked me to make him a little younger looking and soften his features a little bit, which I did. And then I turned the piece in and they said all the revisions look good except the portrait still wasn't quite there. And in this case, they felt now he looked too young, and so they wanted me to kind of just rework the face a little further and do some changes to the hair. I actually do have that, so I'm just going to close with this last little bit, and you can actually see at this point, like I've found a much better kind of placement for the camera. So at least for this last little portrait, I think it's a lot easier to see kind of the what I'm actually doing. But yeah, I figured flawed video is better than no video at all. So anyway,
And then at that point, this last little bit, once I turned that in, they said, looks good, and then I handed off the digital files to them, and that was that.